You believe your doctor was careless, or maybe there was hospital staff that caused you harm and injury. And now you have in the back of your mind, you're trying to find out whether or not your matter is actually timely. How do you really know whether or not your case is actually timely and you can go forward with a possible case? Would you like to know the answer? Come join me for a walk along the beach as I share with you the answer to that question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. What we're talking about in today's video is the statute of limitations. How much time do you actually have in order to go ahead and file a lawsuit against a careless doctor or careless hospital? Now, you should know something very important. I can only tell you what the time limit is in New York. Now, I can only tell you what the time limits are in New York because that's the only place I practice law. And it is critically important that if you begin to think that you may have a valid case against a careless doctor or a careless hospital, it is critically important to find out for certain whether or not your matter is timely. And I should say this, under no circumstance should you ever rely on something you read about or hear about online. Even stuff that I have written, even stuff you've seen in my videos. You cannot, under any circumstance, rely on a specific time frame to determine whether or not your matter is actually timely right now, right today, as you're watching this video. Now, why is that? Well, the honest truth is that time limits do in fact change. And there are very specific circumstances where your particular facts may not apply to a certain time limit. So let me give you an example. You cannot expect that your time limit to bring a case against a careless doctor is going to be valid because you heard from a friend of yours who knows an attorney or may have brought a case on his own what the real time limit is. You can't go online and read a blog post about what the time frame is. Why? Because it may not apply to your situation. The time limit to bring a lawsuit against a private physician or a private hospital is significantly different than if this happened in a municipal hospital or a state-run hospital. In that instance, the municipality and the state hospital are significantly different, and you typically have less time. And if this happened in a municipal-owned hospital, such as, let's say, Jacobi Hospital or Metropolitan Hospital or any hospital affiliated with Health and Hospitals Corporation, guess what? The time limit that you have is there's a very small window. And you are required to follow through with certain procedures, such as filing a document called a notice of claim. And that must be done timely and properly. And after that's done, you have to appear for what's known as a 50H hearing, where you have to give testimony so that the municipality can learn about what actually happened to you and what damages you are claiming, to give them an opportunity to really investigate. And if you fail to do that, guess what? You'll never be allowed to bring your case. And then there's a very restricted time frame in which you are permitted after that to go ahead and file your lawsuit. Now, how do you know whether or not your case is timely? The only real true way to know whether or not your matter is timely is to pick up the phone and speak to an experienced attorney. That is the only way. And the first question that we typically ask is, when did the wrongdoing happen? This gives us an idea of whether or not your matter is timely or may be timely. Then we want to know, where did the wrongdoing happen? And why do we need to know that? Because I need to know if this is from a private hospital, if this is a public hospital, a municipality, is this a state-run hospital? We need to know because the time limits are so significantly different. So the moment you begin to think that you might have a valid case, that is the moment you should be out trying to find the best attorney you can to get a true and honest opinion from an experienced attorney about whether or not your matter is timely. If your matter is untimely, there is nothing I'd be able to do to help you, no matter how bad the malpractice was, no matter what type of injuries you suffered. If the time limit to bring a lawsuit has expired, there is nothing I'd be able to do to help. So why do I share this quick information? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into how important it is to make sure you and your case are within the time frame to go ahead and bring a case if in fact you do have a valid basis for a case. You know, I realize you're likely watching this because you wanted to see the beautiful scenery. No, I realize you're watching this because you likely have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen in New York and you have not yet started a lawsuit, but are thinking about bringing one and still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know, I answer questions like yours every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.